But I would say it's very important. Also, fiction, our tradition, the Prophet ﷺ told the story, it's one of my favorite hadiths, the story of Zara'. Is that a true story? Allahu alam. But the way it's told, it's an incredible piece of literature, just as an event. And the Prophet also used stories as examples of things like this. We know that the Prophet only spoke the truth, but the ulama wrote, for instance, the maqamat, which, I mean, when I was studying Arabic many years ago, and I dip into them every once in a while, but I love the maqamat genre, which is fiction. And these were great ulama. Al-Hariri was a great alim. Badi'u Zaman al-Hamadani was a great alim and a great, very pious man. And as Jarullah Zamakhshari wrote his maqamat in the Haram. So the maqamat are amazing fictionalized stories. One of the things that I learned, in thinking about the maqamat, because like Badi'u Zaman al-Hamadani in his maqamat, the character Abu Fath al-Iskandari is a nasab. He's a charlatan, he's a con artist, but he's a religious con artist. And I really felt that he was warning people about people that use religion and con people with religion, that character is a real character. He's worse than a mafioso. I'll take a don any day of the week, because at least the don, you know what you're dealing with. But a religious charlatan who uses religion to fool people, and we're more susceptible to being fooled by piety than we are by other things, because it's so hard. If you're just an ordinary, average, common two type of person, it's so difficult for you to imagine somebody using God to trick people. It's really hard for people that are normal, because it's such an enormity. And so fiction's really important, but I think it should be good. Like I really think Muslims should get back to itqan and ihsan. And there's a lot of people that just, it's like poetry. It's better to memorize great poetry and be a rawi than to write really bad poetry. I mean, that's my opinion, and people love to hear poems recited. They sound much better when they're recited than when they're read. But the Arabs have that tradition of the rawi. They weren't poets, but they loved poetry, so they would just memorize a bunch of poetry, and then they would recite it, So, but we're in an age, somebody asked Fran Lebowitz, what advice do you give to young writers? And she said, stop writing. Her point, which she elaborates on, was that the self-esteem movement has made everybody think they're talented. And first of all, you can learn to write, but it takes a long time to really become a good writer. And so that's where I would say, learn how to write first. And that takes time. And that means learning rhetoric. It means reading a lot of great literature.